All right, when it says to use synthetic division to find all roots, I mean, there's like a ton of different roots to check out first. So you have to take your calculator and put in y into y equals x to the fourth minus 2x to the third minus 15x squared plus 24x plus 36 equals 0. And if you go to the table, you'll see that there are two roots. You'll have, the table will look like this. And let me scroll up. The two roots that it shows are -1, you get 0, and at 3, you get 0. You guys put this in the calculator to see what you get. So we know we're going to do -1 and 3. And because this coefficient right here is a 4, there's 4 things we're looking for, but those are the ones that are the even numbers. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. We're going to use synthetic division, and it'll give us a quadratic at the end. Okay, so we're going to do 1, -2, -15, +24, and 36. And we already know -1's going to work. You bring the 1 down. -1 times 1 is +1. -1 times -1, oh, wait a minute. That is -1. And so -2 combined with -1 is -3. Multiply -1 and -3 and you get +3. Combine these and you get -12. -1 times -12 is +12. Combine these and you get 36. -1 times 36 is -36. Combine these and you get 0, which tells us -1 is a root. So the next one is 3. Bring the 1 down. 3 times 1 is 3. Combine these and you get 0. 3 times 0 is 0. Combine these and you get -12. 3 times -12 is -36. Combine them to get 0, which tells us -3 is a root. But it tells us to find all the roots, so this is going to be x squared minus 12. To me, the easiest way to solve that, because you're looking for it to equal 0, is to put it equal to 0, and you have x squared, because I'm going to add 12 to both sides, equals +12. Well, if x squared equals +12, if you take the square root of it, x equals plus or minus the square root of 12. And we can leave it like that. We have found the roots. That's going to be positive square root of 12 and negative square root of 12. We were looking for 4 roots and we found them. You can put square root of 12 in the calculator and see what you get, or you can reduce it because it will break down to 2 square root of 3. On the next one, you put this in the calculator as well, and it's x to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd plus 2x squared minus 38x minus 39. Graph it, and when you do, you'll get a pretty good idea of where it's going to cross. It looks like it crosses at -1 and +3, and that's the only ones that I can see. But it's -1 and +3. Go to the table to make sure, and on both of those, that's where it crosses. So we're going to do synthetic again. And we're going to put -1 in first. Bring the 1 down, that's -1. Combine these and you get 1. You multiply that and you get, it's way too early for me today. You get a negative 1 again. Combine these and you get 1. Negative 1 times 1 is a negative 1. Combine these and you get negative 39. Negative 1 times negative 39 is a positive 39. Your remainder is 0, which means negative 1 worked. And we're going to put in a 3 next time. Bring the 1 down. 3 times 1 is 3. Combine these to get 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Combine these to get 13. 3 times 13 is 39. Combine these to get 0. So 3 works. So we end up with x squared plus 4x plus 13. And so the factors of 13 that add up to be 4, there aren't any. So the only way to do this is put it into the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So that's going to be negative 4 plus or minus 4 squared is 16 minus 4 times 1 times c is 13 all over 2a, which is 2. Okay, so if you multiply that, or just look at the discriminant, that's 16 minus 52. 16 minus 52 is a negative 36. So that's negative 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 36 over 2. And that's going to be negative 4 plus or minus 6i over 2, and that reduces to negative 2 plus or minus 3i. That makes sense because when you graph it, you can only see it cross in 2 places. Your imaginary line will not cross the x-axis. So our answer is negative 1, 3, negative 2 plus 3i, and negative 2 minus 3i. And those are our 4 zeros, and we knew we were looking for 4.